There exists a hidden discipline of the mind, a way of seeing and thinking that only a handful of warriors, monks, and mystics have truly mastered. It is not just focus, not just resilience, but something deeper, a rewiring of perception itself, a way of bending reality to one's will by first conquering the mind. This is not a modern invention, not something you'll find in self-help books or motivational speeches. It is ancient, it is dangerous, and for those who grasp it, it is the ultimate edge. But before we dive in, consider this. You wake up in a world where everything you once believed about control is shattered. Your emotions deceive you. Your thoughts are not your own. Every reaction, every impulse has been shaped by forces beyond your awareness. Culture, fear, conditioning. You believe you are free, but you are a puppet pulled by invisible strings. And yet, a select few have learned to cut those strings. They see with clarity, act with precision, and navigate reality in a way that makes them almost untouchable. What if you could do the same? What if the key to true power was not in changing the world, but in changing how your mind perceives it? This book reveals the lost mental disciplines that make that transformation possible. Imagine standing in the middle of chaos, where everything is falling apart. Money, relationships, health. Most people would panic, break down, and lose themselves in fear. But there are some who remain completely unfazed, as if the storm outside does not touch them. Why? Because their internal world is untouchable. The external world may change, but they do not. They see clearly, act decisively, and move with the kind of focus that makes them unstoppable. They are not numb. They are hyper-aware. They have trained their minds to operate on a level most people never access. And this book reveals the lost mental disciplines that make it possible. The first principle is detachment, not in the sense of apathy, but in the ability to step outside of your emotions and see them as passing clouds, not absolute truths. A warrior does not act based on how they feel. They act based on what must be done. The greatest battles, whether in war, business, or personal life, are won not by those who feel the most but by those who see the clearest. Emotion clouds judgment. Fear makes you hesitate, but the disciplined mind observes these emotions, acknowledges them, and then moves forward unaffected. The world may tell you that your emotions define you. The truth is, your response to them does. The second principle is mental stillness. The world is noisy, always demanding your attention, pulling you in 1,000 directions. The average person's mind is fragmented, scattered between notifications, anxieties, and distractions. But the masters of this discipline cultivate an unshakable stillness, a mind so calm it can see through illusions. A still mind is a powerful mind because it is the only kind that truly perceives reality. In battle, the warrior who panics dies. In life, the one who hesitates loses. True clarity only comes when the mind is trained to be still, even in the face of overwhelming chaos. Then comes the principle of directed will. Most people are ruled by their desires, reacting to whatever the world throws at them. But those who practice these hidden disciplines learn to harness willpower like a blade, cutting through distractions and obstacles. Willpower is not about forcing yourself to act. It is about shaping your entire identity around a purpose so that action becomes automatic. A samurai does not think about whether to draw their sword in battle. They simply do it because that is who they are. The same is true for anyone who has mastered their mind. They don't try to be disciplined. They are disciplined. They don't force focus. They are focus. Their identity is forged in such a way that success is not a matter of effort but inevitability. But perhaps the most powerful mental discipline is surrender, not to weakness but to flow. The greatest warriors, artists, and thinkers do not resist reality. They move with it. They do not cling to how things should be. They adapt to how things are. This is not passive acceptance. It is a recognition that fighting against the inevitable is wasted energy. The mind that flows like water is the mind that can carve through mountains. Resisting life is like trying to fight the ocean. You will always lose. But those who surrender to it, who learn to move with it rather than against it, become unstoppable forces of nature. These disciplines are not theoretical. They are practiced. Every day in small ways, in the way you react to setbacks, in how you handle stress, in how you navigate challenges. Most people will hear these ideas and nod in agreement, but only a few will actually apply them. And that is why only a few ever reach true mastery. And so, we come to a story, a final piece that brings these disciplines to life. In a remote monastery, hidden deep within the mountains, there was a master swordsman who had never been defeated. Warriors from all over the world came to challenge him, but none could even touch him. One day, a young fighter arrived, brimming with confidence. He had trained for years and believed he had uncovered a technique that could finally defeat the master. The villagers gathered, eager to see what would happen. The fight began, and the young warrior attacked with full force, moving with incredible speed and precision. But the master barely moved. He stood there, watching, calm as the sky before a storm. Every attack, every strike was met with effortless avoidance. And then, without warning, the master stepped forward, struck once, and it was over. The young fighter lay on the ground, stunned, defeated in a single motion. The villagers asked, "How? How did you win so easily?" The master smiled and said, "He was fighting against me. I was not fighting at all." This is the essence of the hidden disciplines. True power is not in resistance, but in mastery over oneself. The greatest warriors, the most unshakable minds, do not fight the world. They shape themselves in such a way that they no longer need to. And when you understand this, when you truly live it, you will no longer be controlled by emotions, distractions, or expectations. You will move through the world like water, powerful, adaptable, and unstoppable. The question is not whether these disciplines work. The question is, will you apply them?